What's happening, guys? Yes, this time we will be live. I done fucked up some settings, but I think we're good now. Cool, good evening. How you guys doing? Hope things are going well for everybody. Has everyone seen the points? Or the small changes to points? Some changes to points, some leaked points. Alright, let's play a video. We can remove the countdown because we are live, and we can put chat on the screen and remove the starting banner. Good evening. Starting banner. Goodbye. Chat, hello. Apparently no one is watching on YouTube. I think that means it's lagging. Before I came on to stream, something was going a bit funky. It looks like chat is lagging as well. I just see an empty box with no chat in it. I don't know, are anyone else having problems with the internet tonight? Because I went to a few websites, and the few websites I went to seemed okay, but Facebook seemed a bit funny, YouTube seemed a bit funny, and Restream, which is the one that I use, seemed a bit funny. I guess Restream chat is not working just now. How are the points cost looking? Do I have to drink any contrast paint? I remember talking about you drinking contrast paint. What was the deal? What was the bet? Good evening, Spiderwing. Yeah, YouTube's funny as well because it doesn't show. It doesn't show the green next to your guys' names for being subscribers or members. Like Spiderwing's definitely a member, but his name isn't appearing in a different color. So, internet is being funky tonight. But good evening. Reddit was being funnier for you earlier. Alright, cool, so it's not just me. Sometimes when there's technical problems, I do instantly just think I'm an idiot. And, like, I was 50-50 on whether I was going to stream, because I was like, I don't know if I can fix these technical problems, but, I guess they're not 100%, but it doesn't matter, we can hang out for a bit. If the Contemptor becomes more expensive than Leviathan, no, you're off the hook. Contemptors have not become more expensive than Leviathan. It looks like they've gone up like 10 points per arm, something like that. That's really annoying. I can't put chat on the screen tonight, so or at least I don't. Do I have another chat box? Yeah, I don't think I can put the chat on the screen tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think it's anything I changed. I think just Restream isn't working very well. Thank you for following, Willie. Appreciate it. I'm trying to think how I configured this before, because I haven't. Actually, do you know what I can do? I can put this URL into a website and see if it works. Hold on, just give me one sec. It looks like it's working on the website. It's just not working in Restream. Great. That is brilliant. Hold on, I'll add a new browser source. 1 second. Let me see if this works. Yeah, look, chat. Alright, something screwed with my chat box. 725 by 900. Give me 1 sec. I haven't changed any of these settings, but for whatever reason it's decided it didn't want to work. Alright, someone type in chat and let's see if we can see it on the screen. YouTube is lagging for me. YouTube is lagging for me as well, but it says my stream is healthy, so I mean, I guess it's the internet is messing around. Yeah, okay, so this chat is on screen. Okay, I don't know what's going on tonight, guys. I am sorry. I don't think it's anything to do with my end. I think it's just the internet in general has been a bit funky tonight. Probably like a node has crashed somewhere. It'll come back up, I'm sure. But anyway, anyone planning on running the Lord of Death Calistarius? It's a good question. Dante should have got a points reduction of 10 points. I mean, we will find out on Saturday probably, right? I could get on board with Dante being 10 points cheaper. I think if he's 10 points cheaper, I still don't know if I run him, because I really like the captain on the bike. He's such a survivable character. I just love him. But yeah, I would be all for Dante going down 10 points. I could get on board with that. Death Company, 2 points cheaper per model. How do people feel about that? Anyone going to be swayed to run some Death Company? I'm expecting now that I finished my Vanguard veterans with claws and shields, they're going to go up to 50 points per model. I think if they were going to change Vanguard veterans again, they might have said something about it, because they changed them last year. But I mean, who knows? I suppose it's always the way, though. It's always the way that you finish models and then they get their points increased. It's just one of the things you have to deal with, I guess, in this hobby. 2 hit to wound, good evening, how are you? Death Company AR3 buffed boyos. What do you mean by AR3? Mark, thanks for tuning in. Buddy, I heard the news. Good evening, buddy. Dave Pikey, I'm going to run pre-event party for LVO. Oh, that's cool. When is LVO then? Because I saw a few people talking about army lists and stuff for it. I haven't really looked at any tournament stuff for a while, because I'm not going to be able to go to any tournaments for a little while because of this second kid. But I do fancy going to LVO one year. I don't think the 2 points on Death Company is going to make that much of a difference. 20 points, I guess, on a 10-man squad. But, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. So if you run, like... I think basically what will happen with the Death Company is you'll see Death Companies of the same size. You'll just get one more Thunderhammer in the squad, I imagine. You know, because if you can save, like, 15 points, then would you not just put another Thunderhammer in the squad? I feel like that's going to happen. Which Death Company? They're old or new? They didn't say specifically. They just said Death Company squads. But I think if they were doing just the old or just the new, they would have said specifically rather than squads. Seems quite general, right? So they said Death Company squads are going down 2 points per model. So I think that, and Volcons are going up 10 points per gun, I think is what they said as well. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely merit in the idea behind running like one Volcon or one arm Contemptor Volkite and the other arm like a Chain Fist or something. Maybe when I get round to ordering chapter approved this weekend, I'll order myself a Contemptor Chain Fist. Because I think that's going to be if you want to run a Contemptor, I think that's going to be the best option. A Chain Fist, a Volkite Cannon, and probably the Cyclone Missile Launcher. Even though the Missile Launcher is expensive, still good on the Contemptor, because with one wound he's still firing on top bracket, right? Hello, John Lemon. Good evening. How you doing? I've actually got to get him. I've got to actually get a Mephisto model. I've always proxied him since I only ever play with friends. Well, the new Mephisto model's nice. I really didn't think he was very strong in the rules, and I guess this is a step to making him better. So he's the same points cost, I guess, as the Firstborn Librarian with a jump pack. I just don't know if... Well, I don't think points is necessarily Mephisto's only problem. Like, he's Chief Librarian, but he doesn't get +1 to cast. Which is potentially a problem, and also his weapon is D3 as opposed to, like, if it was flat 3 damage, then... If his weapon was flat 3 damage and he was 140 points, like, I think he would get a lot of play. Like, that's all they need to do is just make his weapon 3 damage, because he gets a good number of attacks, right? And with quickening, he can get a boatload of attacks. Next weekend is LVO, okay. The previews have me excited to see what else has dropped. I think Librarian will go down. Librarian Dread will go down too. I guess we'll find out. I was very surprised to see Plague Burst Crawlers go down. I do not think Plague Burst Crawlers needed to go down in points. I thought they were very, very strong. DTM... The video I've done tomorrow talks about one of the comments you put on the channel a few weeks ago about Plague Burst Crawlers. So tune in to watch my tactics video tomorrow. But honestly, I don't think Plague Burst Crawlers needed to come down in points. I really don't. I think now you with Death Guard, like, it's kind of funny because they put the other indirect fire stuff up, right? Because like Hive Guard went up 5 points per model. And I think that is probably right. I think Hive Guard probably were a tiny bit too strong. So if you want to take like 6 of them, it's 30 more points. I think that's good. Plague Burst Crawlers, I think they made a mistake there. I guess we'll see. But I think as a Death Guard player before, 3 Plague Burst Crawlers was pretty strong. Like now you're going to see them in every fucking list. Because why would you not? It's such a powerful tank. It's so difficult to kill, and it's only 160 points. I mean, the fetid bloat drones kind of went up, so, which I guess offsets like those armor-heavy Death Guard lists, but still. Spiderwing's happy to get free Thunderhammers. Yeah, I mean, I guess you get a free Thunderhammer for what, every 8 models? Imperial Knights got screwed again. What are you talking about? The lightning locks? If you're talking about the lightning locks, they were way strong, I think. I don't know if I would class that as screwed. You get so many shots, and you pretty much, because of the exploding 6s doing 2 extra shots with lightning locks, you almost guarantee to just hit all 6 times. It's pretty crazy. Good evening, Toxin. How you doing? Took a little break from 40k, but we'll really get back into it now and reckon the army will be good for a fight soon. I would need to... What would I need to be able to play? I have the core book and the codex. I mean, that's all you need, right? The Space Marine Codex, the Blood Angels Codex, and the core rulebook, right? You don't need anything else beyond that? I mean, oh well, you'd need the new chapter approved book if you want to play the new missions and stuff. Which is up for pre-order this Saturday, I think. So I think Saturday morning, the new chapter approved book will go on sale. And I think typically when they do the pre-orders like that, it's like you pre-order on the Saturday and it gets delivered the following Saturday. So I think that's what would happen with the new chapter approved. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe entropy cannons are more than 5 points. I mean, that would be interesting. Like if they... Yeah, I guess it'll depend on what if they touched entropy cannons, right? Because at the moment, the Plague Burst for 175 with entropy cannons, I think, is very, very strong. I don't... If you compare that to like Predators and Space Marine armor, I don't see how that can possibly need to go down 20 points. Because it's just so much stronger than those. And I think some people were saying, like, or in a couple of Facebook groups that I'm in, or the 40k groups that I'm in that talk about stuff, they were like, well, D6 shots is kind of rubbish. And I was like, yeah, but the thing is, if you've got 3 Plague Burst Crawlers and you get 3 D6 shots for the mortars, you're gonna roll at least well with like one of them, right? Like, it's kind of like weight of fire. I don't think it's a problem. How are you happy about us getting screwed over again? Well, I don't know if we are screwed over yet, Martin. Why do you think we're screwed over? I mean, all I know is Mephiston went down and Death Company went down. Volkites, I've been saying for a while, the Volkites needed to go up 5 points per arm. 10 points per arm isn't the end of the world if that's what it is. The Volkites are really swingy, and they don't work against some armies, because like I've played some armies where the Volcons are great, and I've played some armies where the Volcons just don't work against them. So I'm not really worried about Volcons going up in points. I think if you want to run a Contemptor Dreadnought, you should run it the way that Steel Rain recommends, which is one Volkite, the Cyclone Missile Launcher, and think, John, use your words, Chain Fist. Like, I think that's going to be the best way to run the Contemptor going forward. The days of like double Volcon are probably... Yeah, they're probably going to disappear, but also I actually don't think it's that strong. And I have used 2 of them for a while. I did guide 2 of them to the top table of a GT. But I still don't think they're great because they just don't perform against some armies. like armies that have good saving throws. And if you get unlucky with the mortal wounds, then the Volcons do nothing, and you lose the game because they are. I don't like losing games because your units are swingy, and that's what can happen with Volkites if you go double twin Volcon. Again, the chassis went up 10 points. It's possible the weapon options for the Dreadknights got more expensive too. Yeah, I mean, Dreadknights I think needed to go up 10 points. I would have, if it was me, I'd have probably put them up more because they're just super strong. 12 wounds on a 4-up in Vun, and also they're psychers, and also they have like a flat 6 damage sword, which is fucking crazy. So I guess let's see what happens with Dreadknights. But I mean, it's a step in the right direction for Dreadknights, right? Like. In my opinion, Dreadknights were crazy strong. Where did I put that paint? Why on earth did they increase the chaplain, says Robert? Because everybody was running the chaplain, Robert. That's how it works. If everybody's running something, Volcons, that chaplain on a bike, they'll increase him. And honestly, I think he was kind of 115 points for the chaplain seemed maybe a tad too cheap. I think probably what you got, a 10-point increase is fine. I mean, he's still got 5 toughness, he's still got 7 wounds, he's still super fast. He can get a boatload of attacks, and he can get a 4 damage weapon fairly easily. I don't necessarily think I have a problem with the chaplain going up 10 points. Here's the thing, right, Robert? If you run a chaplain, but you run a 5-man death company, your death company went down 10 points, your chaplain went up 10 points. There's actually no change there, right? So I guess if you already run death company 5-man or more and you run the chaplain, then there's actually no change. So it's like it's a net 0. Oh, Jaegerbomb, thank you so much for becoming a member for the 3rd month in a row. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. You're always in the streams hanging out and supporting. It's much appreciated. So the new rules won't have changed, just the new missions and chapter approved. Yeah, I mean, you actually get like a condensed version of the rules in the chapter approved book, Will. So like you don't, I guess you probably don't necessarily need the main rule book unless it's like a really edge case rule. So for the most part, you can just get like I said, they kind of have like a condensed version of all the rules inside the chapter approved book as well. So the main rule book, if you've got it, great, but like you probably don't need it if you get the new chapter approved. And I guess if there's any FAQs or any rules that have changed, then the chapter approved will have them as well, probably. So yeah, that's all you need, really. I'm joining you in the even battle before I head to the Nottingham GT this weekend in the name of Sanguinius. Yes, Gitley is one of 4 players. That's going to be at one of 4 Blood Angels players, I think. Good evening, Steel Rain. Hey, Mikey, how you doing? Good evening. Monolith's becoming good again with the new shields, and points drop is awesome. Under 1,000 points for 3. Yeah, I mean, Necron's probably had the most points drops overall, it seemed like. And Jaegerbomb with a $5 super chat. Every stream, Jaegerbomb, you give me $5, man. It's super appreciated. Thank you. 1 second, let me see your question. Do you see other points changes for Space Marine Blood Angels? I'm looking forward to melee focused Redemptor Dreadnoughts and new infantry. So the points changes we know are those gladiator attack. Do you know what? I'm just going to pull it up on the website. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it. We'll see it now. Warhammer community. Here we go. Let me flick over my camera for 1 second. Warhammer community. And it was here, wasn't it? 4 of the biggest point changes from chapter approved. So the variant, the Storm Speeders are going down 10 points, the Gladiators are going down 15 points. I'm not sure that makes either of those too much more competitive. Maybe slightly, but these aren't played units anyway. But maybe we'll see some more. Maybe we'll see. I mean, we need to see some more for the Space Marine armor. We knew armor was overcosted, so maybe that is what's happening. Lehman Russ is going down 10 points is interesting, considering they just got a 2-up save given to all of them last FAQ. So Lehman Russes are going to be way stronger. Plagueburst Crawler's 15 points. We'll have to wait and see how... If this one doesn't have entropy cannons on the sides, we'll have to see the cost of entropy cannons. Necrons weren't competitive. What's funny is Necrons weren't competitive and their codex came out at the same time as ours. So does that mean... Should we have got a sheet like this? I guess maybe. But 2 points per model, it says Death Company squads. 15 points for Mephiston. I guess Dark Angels got a bunch of their guys down. Space Wolves as well. The Thunderwolf Cavalry I actually thought were already pretty good, but minus 5 points per model. And the special Corvus Blackstar Deathwatch goes down 15. And then what do we see going up? The Primaris Chaplain and Bike everyone's upset about. The Volkites, which we thought needed to go up. Grey Knights, Nemesis, Dreadknights, which 100% needed to go up. Volkites and Lightning Locks. This is what I fought Andrew last week with, and they were just broken, so they needed to go up as well. The Foul Blightspawn makes sense. I mean, he was a very good anti-combat character, and he was very cheap. Hiveguard were crazy indirect fire. Those squig buggy rucka trucks that Andrew took 9 of in his list. Andrew took 9 of them in his list, and I beat him 4 times out of 4 with him taking those. So that list, that alone was 180 points extra as how overpowered those fucking rucka trucks were. I think all the if the rucka trucks went up 20, I would be really surprised if the scrap jets don't come down 20 or something. Go up 20 as well. I wonder if the Whirlwind's going to come down 10 points. Because if the other armor's coming down 10 points, come on, take the Whirlwind down 10 points. That would be so nice. And then the Beast Boss on Squigosaur, I thought he was going up 20. So 30 is fine. I think that Squigosaur does 9 mortal wounds, or it can do 9 mortal wounds every round of combat. It's fucking crazy. So, yeah, this is what they shared. And this is just a preview for the new season. But maybe we'll see more vehicles coming down in points, I guess. DTM saying, what have you heard on the rumour mill? Is it time for Death Company blobs? I mean, it's nice. The annoying thing is Death Company can't perform actions. That's why I don't like them. And you can't fall back with Death Company. If you can finally get a melee-focused Redemptor, I will get one. Yeah, I mean... The rumor has it that there's going to be a melee-focused Redemptor. I've heard that rumor quite a few times now. But, I mean... And I've also heard a rumor that there's going to be like a 2.0 version of the Space Marine Codex. But, I mean, it's all just rumors. I don't have anything concrete that I can share. Just what I read today on the Warhammer community site. But I suppose Death Company coming down, Mephiston coming down. If Mephiston's coming down, does that mean maybe our other characters will come down? Because let's face it, you don't see any of them in the meta. Someone said the Plagueburst Crawler change was to deny DW players an easy take to the last. I'm a noob. Does that make sense? Plagueburst Crawlers were only 175 points. I mean, to the last... I don't know if that makes a huge difference. Scrapjets are going up 10. That makes sense. All those orc vehicles and scrapjets and shit were overcosted. I'm not meaning to hate on orcs, but when I played against them, like although I beat, you know, like sometimes you can beat an army, but you can know it's still super powerful, and that's how I felt with the orcs. Like. I beat them a few times, but I was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable beating them. Like, it's such a tough game to get the win here. So yeah, the orc stuff going up, I think it makes 100% sense to me anyway. Just came in to hear BAC asking 10 points off of Whirlwind. Yeah, please. Please, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, so they're taking down some of the other Space Marine armor, so why not the Whirlwind? I mean, if you compare it against some of those orc things, you know, they have better indirect fire, they have better melee. I don't really think a 3-up save with no invulnerable save makes your vehicle survivable in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah. But at least some of her stuff came down, because I was genuinely worried last week that like nothing was going to change. They were just going to look at the Blood Angel stuff and like just gloss over it. Like, Yeah, Blood Angels, they're not great right now, but we're not going to really change anything. So I'm not necessarily going to take Death Company or Mephiston, but what, like, because these aren't units that I run, I don't necessarily think dropping the points on them is going to make them like an auto take or anything like that, because like Death Company have their problems and they can't fall back and they can't do actions, like I already said. And Mephiston has his problems in that, like, if you take him against like a psychic heavy army, then like Grey Knights or Thousand Suns, you open yourself up and you limit your secondaries as well against them. So I'm not sure it really helps Mephiston all that much, but I guess the positive note to take away is that they've actually looked at some of the points costs and we may see some other interesting stuff, right? You think we'll see Death Company Primaris units, or will it be selected units like Intercessors? I mean, we kind of already have Death Company Primaris, but the raw problem with the Jaeger Bomb is that they don't have jump packs, I think. Will they give them jump packs in the future? I mean, I bloody well hope so, because I don't think anyone will run Primaris Death Company until they have jump packs. I mean, if you bought Primaris Death Company and you're running them in your army list right now and you're playing casually, or hell, maybe you're even putting them in Impulsor and you're making them work, then I always say, like, if you figured out a way to make them work, like, more power to you. But for the most part, I think most people look at them and go, yeah, Firstborn are just better because of the mobility, so I'm just going to take Firstborn. I don't think... they sell jump packs on their website. They sell... I think you can get, like, a sprue just with, like, 5 jump packs on it for, like... I think it's about $5, right? So, like, if they can sell a sprue with like 5 jump packs on it for $5, why don't they just start selling Primaris jump packs on a sprue for $5? Well, I mean, it's Primaris, so it'll probably cost an extra $1 or $2, but like, I bet you if they just started selling a sprue on their website with like 5 Primaris jump packs, they'd fly off the shelf. For a win plus 20 points, no thank you. Gitley, you were my friend. Now, if the Whirlwind goes up 20... there's no way the Whirlwind's going up 20 points. I'll drink a pot of contrast paint if the Whirlwind goes up 20 points. There you go. How about that? Because there's no way. You're just worrying that this is the bulk of the points changes? I'm trying to think. I think last year we had like 4 negative points changes and like 1 or 2 positive. So, I mean, if you base it on that, I don't know. I really don't know. I guess if this is the bulk of the points changes, then I guess we'll be disappointed, right? But apart from points changes, anyone working on any models tonight? What is happening? Anyone changed what they're working on? Clip that, says Dino Shepherd. Clip it if you want. It's not going to happen. I actually don't know. You can clip on YouTube or you can clip on Twitch these days. I thought they were adding clipping to YouTube. I really don't think they'll make the Whirlwind 20 more points. I think they might take 10 points off of it because it doesn't do any damage for the whole... It sits alive for the whole game and doesn't do any damage. I mean, it's an AP0 gun, you know? It literally does no damage. Me and Resi are working on TTS. Cool. Like, you're working to stream some TTS, or what are you up to with it? I just got back in for a slow grow league game. Did Blood Angels v Blood Angels on my captain murder 5-man blade guard with only in death this duty end. Now I need a name for him captain. Well, I mean, there are some generate. I think there is a page in our codex that gives you ideas for names. Is there not? Well, my Emperor's Champion sword broke, so I have to kit bash him. Was the sword fiddly, or you just broke it by accident? You know, I've seen that new Emperor's Champion model, and he's pretty cool. But I mean, with the new models, like back in the day, you used to break stuff all the time. Like the amount of time I've broken like Dante's axe when he was old and metal was ridiculous. But like nowadays, I don't find things break all that easily, I guess. So how did you break the Emperor Champion's sword? It saddens me. Well, we don't know yet that those units have been nerfed or not nerfed or whatever, questioning basics. We don't know. We'll know on Saturday. And I'm planning on streaming on Saturday night, so I guess, you know, you can come in on Saturday and we can talk. We should know everything on Saturday. I'll try and, like, someone will do a review of the book on Saturday on YouTube, because the GW have like the preview copies that go out to the big channels. So I'll try and find a stream on Saturday and watch it and be clued up to all the points changes for Saturday night. I'll try and be ready, I guess. It would be really nice if the Phobos troops went down a point or two. I mean, I wonder, you know, like I spoke a few weeks ago about tacticals being crap. Does anyone think we'll see some buffs, points decreased to tactical squads? Mark is working on a Grey Knight army, Mark. You dirty Grey Knight player. Okay. We'll let you off, though. I'm just bitter because Grey Knights beat me at the top table at GT. I will be bitter about that until I actually win a GT now. Because I guess up until this point, that was my best chance at winning a GT, when I was one of only 2 players going 4-0. Bloody Grey Knights. Any other army? Auspic Tactics will be first. He always is. Is Auspic Tactics actually a reviewer? Like, do GW actually send him products now? Like, does he have an NDA with them and get the stuff first, or is he getting the leaks from somewhere else? Because, like, Auspic Tactics is... I actually don't know. Is he quite private? Like, because you never see his face, right? And he doesn't do live streams. Or I don't know if I've ever seen him do a live stream. Hey John, hope you're well. Just dropping in to say hi and looking forward to see how the changes shake things up. Yeah, me too, Chris. It'll be nice to see things change things up. It'll be a thumbnail. Everybody saw the thumbnail and everybody decided to come hang out. And the one night everyone decided to come hang out and I get 73 viewers in a painting stream is the night where YouTube has decided to say that on screen right now in the top corner there's 0 viewers. Thanks, YouTube. Let me turn that on and off again, but I'm pretty sure it will still say 0. Yeah. And 1 person on Twitch, which at this point I don't know if that is a lie, because the YouTube count is broken, so I can't. Okay. You never see him, no idea. Yeah, I know, I've never seen Auspic Tactics. I have no idea what he looks like. I thought maybe when all things are a bit more safe in terms of like COVID and Omicron and all that nonsense, I thought I might try and invite Auspic's Tactics to come on the channel for a game, like one of our Monday night games or something. I already kind of spoke to him a little bit about him and said like we should have a game after COVID, and he was kind of like, yeah, okay. But I don't. I mean, that must be 6 months ago I talked to him now. He's possibly forgotten, but I mean, I definitely had the conversation with him. And he seems very cool. Auspic Tactics is a machine of content. Yeah, I mean, he is a machine. He puts out so many videos. So yeah, maybe on Saturday, if you're not sure whose channel to check out, then keep an eye on Auspic's Tactic and you'll get the full breakdown of all the points. But like, There'll be. I mean, just just search chapter approved on YouTube on Saturday. There'll be loads of people covering it, I guess. At some point, maybe in the future, I will get a deal with Games Workshop where I get early review copies, but I'm not quite there yet. Gotta keep building the subscribers and stuff, so. But, yeah, I'm excited to see how it changes things up. And I already dropped my Volcons this week in the live stream, just because, like, you don't want to rely on a unit which you're like 90% sure is going to get its points increased, and it did get its points increased, I guess. So it was nice to sort of play a game without them. And you know, if they only go up 10 points, I'm probably gonna buy the Chain Fist, and I'm probably gonna go the Volcon Chain Fist build. I like Redemptor Dreadnoughts a lot, like I really do, but like I feel like if you run multiple Redemptors, you have to take Psychic Fortress, because I think without it, they can get melted by some armies, and there are a lot of points to just get melted with no save. So yeah, I like Redemptors, I like Psychic Fortress, but I'm kind of taking a step away from Librarians, just because I think. Well, we'll have to see what happens to the Grey Knights and Thousand Suns points, but I think it's good to not have Librarians against those armies, right? Who thinks the 2 points reduction is only for Death Company Intercessors? DK, I think they said Death Company squads in the screenshot. I think I've got it here. Let me pull it back up. 1 second. They said Death Company squads minus 2 points per model. I think if they'd meant only Death Company Intercessors or only Firstborn, they would have said that specifically. Because like when they talked about the Volcons going up 10 points, all Contemptor Dreadnoughts with Volkite Coverings, 10 points. And they show one Covering in the picture. So I would say that, like, you know, that's singular. They're putting up Coverings by 10 points per arm. Whereas this, I really think they mean both squads, Firstborn and Firstborn and goodness me, you can tell I've had a long week and I've not had enough sleep with my new daughter. New son, yes. Definitely have not enough sleep this week. All Death Company lists from here on out, says Pedroig. If anything, intercessors are excluded. Pedroig hates. Is it? What is it you hate, Pedroig? You just hate Primaris, or you hate? I think it's you just hate Primaris, right? But yeah, I think it's going to be Firstborn Death Company. It sounds like it. So basically, if you run like more than like 6 or 7 Firstborn Death Company, you'll get enough points for another Thunderhammer for free. Well, you'd have to run 8 because that would be 2 points, so 16 points. Auspec's army is marvelous. What I thought Auspec's ran like a soup list, right? Does he still run the soup list, or has it changed? Your Calixtus assassination. Your Calixtus assassinating Tigris on Monday night was epic. That'll be enough anti-psyker. Yeah, I mean, the Calixtus assassin did really just kill Tigris outright, didn't he? Did like 8 wounds to him at -4 or something with no invulnerable save. It was pretty nice. His -2 to cast, it's okay. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, it helped a little bit. I think it cancelled 1 power throughout the whole game. And I think he was in range 2 turns or something for the -2 to cast. I guess it's not that good, the -2 to cast. I mean, it's useful, but like Tigris, for example, can reroll all his failed casts, so that's what it is, I guess. The only problem with Redemptor is a lack of invuln, but is a huge weakness. That's why they're so good in Black Templars. Yeah, I mean, it is a huge weakness. That's why in the tournament that I went to in September, which I also went 4-1 in, that was the one that I ran double Redemptor with the Librarian with Psychic Fortress. And like I said, like a Librarian with Psychic Fortress and double Redemptor is genuinely really good, I think, but it does have the weakness that you're like, well, two weaknesses is one, you've got that librarian in, so it's gonna maybe be weak against enemy psychic armies. But two, if the psychic fortress fails, and it can fail, I've had it fail in key turns before. If it fails, it can really screw you. If a lot of your firepower is coming out of those Redemptors, and they don't have their invuln save, and you're fighting up against Dukari or something with those D3 plus 3 Dark Lances, and like rerolls to hit on the Dark Lances, yeah, it can screw you. Or, I mean, it did screw me in one of my games. Love the Primaris, hate the Primaris lore. Yeah, I mean, Primaris are probably just still a little bit generic for my liking. You know, like, if you think, you know, like in Darkness of the Blood, Primaris came and replaced the dead Firstborn, but like they don't necessarily replace the same squads. They're just like, hey, hi, we're hell, you know, because at the start of Darkness in the Blood, Dante's with like Hellblasters and Intercessors. It's like Dante, Mephiston, and all these Primaris troops, and it's like they're fine and all, but you kind of want them to have a bit more chapter flavor, right? I think that's one of the reasons for the hate. I hope the Ball Predator goes down 40. Compared to the other Plagueburst Crawler, it's so bad for the same points. You're 100% right, D-King. Predators are totally crap for the same points as like a Plagueburst Crawler. My video tomorrow, because I already filmed it and made it before this news dropped today. My video tomorrow is it's basically I'm asking the question, can chapter approved save Space Marine armor? And one of the things I was talking about is like the Plagueburst Crawler and the Predator, and showing like how bad they are side by side, or how different they are side by side, and then the points costs and stuff. So yeah, check out my video tomorrow. It's going to be live about 1 o'clock-ish. It's usually when my videos go out. But yeah, Predators need to go down a lot of points. Also, Death Company Dread is technically a squad too, at least when you're playing Andrew, if nothing else. Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of things in the Blood Angels Codex they could have lowered the points on. Napalm Sanctuary, I love watching the painting. Can't paint myself. My dad was a master at painting models. I would have wished I'd got into Warhammer when he was still around. Yeah, I lost my dad like too early as well, brother. It's a tough one. You know, if you've never painted, you can start. You can learn. You don't need to be good. You just need to, you know. Painting is kind of what am I trying to say? Like with the painting, you can do as little or as much effort as you want in it, you know? I tend to put a lot, like I'm not a good painter, like I make mistakes all the time, but I tend to go back and fix things and spend a lot of time on the models, but you don't have to, you know? You can paint them as little or as much as you like. For tournament play, they usually just require them to have 3 colors. So, like, you could play this guy in a tournament. That'd be totally valid. You know, he's actually got, what, 5 colors on him? I mean, there's no shading, there's no highlights, but, I mean, that's valid for a tournament. Which bolter is that? It's Phobos. Yes, these are incursors, so I guess whatever bolt rifle the incursors have, I forget what it's called. It's some sort of bolt carbine the incursors have, isn't it? It's not very good though. It's like strength 4, 0 AP, 1 shot. I think it's a 30. No, I think it's a 24-inch range on the incursors. Hoping the falchion super heavy goes down in points. Well, I mean, it might, Miguel. How nice would that be if the falchion super heavy tank went down 100 points? Oh, we'd see that boy back on the table. Blood Angels need a Primaris upgrade, like the Black Templar got the Spider Wing. Yeah, I mean, I think I think that would be good, right? Like a proper, like, not just like one squad, like the Death Company, like the whole army. Like, what did the Black Templars get? Like 5 Primaris characters and like a brand new squad of guys. So like Primaris, Sanguinary Guard, and 5 more characters, or 5 of our characters re-envisioned as Primaris. That would be good, yeah. That would keep me busy with the painting for a while. I obliterated a Redemptor with Mephiston recently. Yeah, I mean, I guess Mephiston can obliterate a Redemptor because the lack of invulnerable save again, right? Yeah, everybody can paint. Remember to thin your paints and watch a couple of videos on YouTube on painting. Yeah, I mean, 100% right. Everybody can paint, and you know, if I showed you my first models, do you know what? I have some of my first models over. I don't think I've showed these on stream before, or maybe I did a long time ago. They're so bad. Pedroid coming in with $20. Thank you so much, Pedroid. Bestborn put their money on the line, unlike the Call heretics. Pedroid, you will die on a hill, won't you? That Firstborn are the best. I don't know what you're gonna do if they finally hurry up and release like good like if they actually released Primaris Sanguinary Guard, you know, like 3 wounds, maybe like a 5-up save. Like a 5-up invuln save, and like maybe some 3 damage weapons like Sanguinary Guard that can take Thunderhammers. Are you still going to be like, no, fuck this, I want my Firstborn, that's what I love? I mean, fair play to you. You love people, you know, people like what they like. And if you're all about Firstborn, then, you know, Jeff will be on the hill with you and you'll die next to you, yeah. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I actually got my first taste of Primaris models for free. Games Workshop. I sometimes do some work with Games Workshop for my like 9-to-5 job, and they gave me like Intercessors and Hellblasters for free. So that's how I got started with the Primaris. And I mean, it's kind of hard to resist free models, right? Like, especially, I hadn't played in the hobby for a long time at that point. They were like, hey, we're doing new Space Marines, and here, have some boxes of them. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And so I just got into them that way. But yeah, it's like Tyrannid players who play full stabby bugs despite the fact Nigs can't melee worth a damn. That's fair enough. My 9-to-5 job is for a company that make apps. Like apps for your mobile phone and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I hope, even if Sanguinary Guard go down like 1 point, or if they make like the Power Fists on Sanguinary Guard like cheaper or something, like I hope they haven't just ignored Sanguinary Guard and left them where they are. The Death Company is kind of, it's interesting, I suppose, in that like you could have like a really cheap Death Company now. Like 115 points for 5 Death Company models. That seems, you know, in terms of like having a unit that could just come in a deep strike and like a suicide charge that you don't care about, that's going to do a lot of damage with a ton of chainsword attacks. That seems like Firstborn Death Company are going to be pretty cool. I may even run them again, just bollocks, as like, you know, just because they're like 115 points. I feel like that is very cheap. Why do people want 5-up invulnerables on Sanguinary Guard and Mephiston? How much AP4 and better are you running into? Apparently a lot. Power swords on like Sisters of Battle are -4 and just like shred the Sanguinary Guard. I guess here's here's the fucked up thing though, like Meltaguns as well. People, Sangre Guard are such an expensive unit. Like 6 guys is 200 points, right? If they ever get left out in the open, people will shoot everything that they have at them because they know how strong they are in melee. So people obviously know to hit them with stuff of AP3 or, well, AP4 or more. So I guess we're running into enough stuff that makes us feel like we need a 5-up invulnerable save. And I think a 5-up invulnerable save on a model that has a 2-up normal save and is in quote-unquote Artificer armor, because that's what it says in the codex, is Artificer armor, which is Terminator armor, which normally has a 5-up invulnerable save anyway. So why don't they have the 5-up? That's exactly what Sir Juster said. Sangre Guard have an Artificer armor, so ironically they should have it, yes. Check out these bad boys I have. This is from when I was first ever painting, maybe like when I was first got into the hobby 20 odd years ago. The paint in the crevices of these is so ridiculously thick. I've tried to scrape it out. Look at all this shit in there. Like, where's my knife? Like, look at this. Like, there's, like, I'd be here all day. I tried to get it off with like Dettol. And like these models smell of Dettol now. These are the 2nd edition Tactical Marines that you got in the 2nd edition box set, which I'm sure some of you guys have seen in the video behind my head. But like, I scrubbed the shit out of these guys with like a nail brush and like had them soaking in like in a basin of Dettol for like a week. And look how thick that paint still is. You know, so like, I knew nothing about painting. Like, I can't even get that out, like picking it out with a knife. Have I tried BioStrip 220? No, but I plan on buying something specifically to remove that paint at some point. I just don't have a huge drive to paint Tactical Marines at the moment, I guess. But I guess we'll see if Tactical Marines come down 15 points per 15 points per model, yeah, so they're 3 points per model, that'd be good. No, if Tactical Marines come down like 3 points per model to about 15 points a model, which I think they should be. I think Tactical Marines are overpriced at 18 points per model. Then maybe I'll buy some. But like, the reason I've kept them is because I plan on restoring them at some point. I just have quite a big backlog of other models that also need restored, I guess. That's not your best, John. Well, I mean, I honestly think I was about 13. Dude, when I was 13, so 25 years ago, I don't even think there was the internet. I think I got the internet when I was like 14 or 15. So like, and then when we finally did get the internet, you had to pay like 2 pence a minute to use the internet, right? So if you used the internet for an hour, it cost you £1.20. And if anyone in your house lifted up the telephone while you were on the internet, you just got disconnected. So yeah, good times. There's no such thing as a painting tutorial or anything. It was just like, here's a picture in the codex of these guys looking completely fucking awesome. Now try and replicate it yourself. Those sculpts were among the first ever Warhammer purchases. 80 people watching tonight, moving up in the world. It'll be because the thumbnail I put the new Death Company, I put the new points costs on my thumbnail tonight, so people want to tune in and see what we're saying about the new points costs. But no, I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. It's just going to be a shorter stream anyway because I got work in the morning. But yeah, I mean, at least they, you know, they could have left Mephiston right where he was at 155 points, and he would have seen 0 game time. They put him at 140 points, which matches him precisely to the Firstborn Librarian with the jump pack, right? Because that's how much the Firstborn Librarian with the jump pack costs. 100, and Chief Librarian as well, sorry. Chief Librarian Firstborn with the jump pack is 140 points. That's exactly what Mephiston costs now. And I ran Mephiston twice on the channel, right, in the last 6 months. Maybe I actually ran him 3 times, but I was basically trying him on the channel a few times to be like, can you make Mephiston competitive? Because like no one's running him, right? Or at least at the time, 155 points, no one's running him. I guess now some people might start running him anyway, just because his points cost a lot better. But I ran him a couple of times and was like, just to try him with some different powers and see how he would do. And I was like, yeah, you can probably run Mephiston. I mean, he's not amazing, but I think if you run him with like Unleash Rage and Blood Boil and then maybe like Shield or Wings, I felt like you could get some value out of him, mainly because Unleash Rage is probably like, if you have any decent sized squad of melee unit, then Unleash Rage can be huge. You know, like if you got 40 attacks, I think I used Unleash Rage on like an 8-man Death Company or something, and I like procced like 12 extra hits or something. I used auto spray paint for my first tactical squads, covered the red and black with the bolt gun on the bolters, and then hit the Aquila with a heavy white acrylic. Yeah, I mean it's funny how bad. We did it when we first joined the hobby, I guess. Do you have any pictures of your first models? Because I guess that would be the kicker, right? Because unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of those models, but God, they were bad. I mean, they're bad now when I've taken the paint off them. You should have seen them before the paint was on them. Or you should have seen them before they got stripped. It's ridiculous. I was back on CompuServe back in the early 80s. Yeah, the internet, man, was so different. You had to pay for an ISP as well, and then you had to pay for every single time you wanted to connect. So I remember the first time we got like a free ISP, and it was just like, what? We've got a free one. How does that even work? Clickbait. Yeah, I guess it is clickbait tonight. Come in and why not? We don't have much to get. We haven't had much to get excited about in the last 18 months, honestly. Because last year's chapter approved just made us crapper, and I felt like we were already in a really tough situation. So, I guess at least this year, a couple of our main characters, like even if I suppose Mephiston, I don't think Mephiston will be the only character that goes down. Though I think that if they've looked at Mephiston and thought he's not strong enough, surely they've looked at the other characters as well. So if we see like 10, what's Mephiston going down? Like he's kind of gone down 10% if you think about it. He's 155 points. He went down 15. So if some of our other characters come down 10%, like if all of our other special characters come down 10%, the ones that don't get played, so like Sanguinar, Corbolo, Tycho, Astroth doesn't get played. I know a couple of people in this channel have had really good success with Astroth, but for the most part, Astroth doesn't get played. The people that are making it work in this channel are kind of seasoned pros, I would say, on the Blood Angels. Like regular players are not managing to make Astroth work. So yeah, if they took down all of our other characters 10%, how who's fielding our other character, or who's now considering another one of the named characters if they're down 10%? Like, does that make a difference to your thought decision on the army list? I think if they were going to take Dante down, though, they would have probably mentioned it. So I think we're probably going to have to wait on Dante a bit yet. They did take him down last year. Try Blender Astroth with a big Death Company. I mean, if Astroth comes down 10 points and the Death Company came down 20 points, that's actually starting to be quite attractive, is it? Oh yeah, good luck, Gitley. We'll keep it. Share some stuff in Discord of like how you're getting on in your games, or share some photos. And good luck at the Nottingham GT. One of the few Blood Angels players there. I think at one point in the BCP rankings last year, Gitley was the highest ranked Blood Angels player in the UK. So I think it. Yeah, I think it's tough to do well in GTs at the moment. So go for it, bro. Good luck. Good evening, The End. How you doing? Awoken Sheep says, very few advantages compared to our opponents, fearing the output from a Librarian Dread. I missed the first part of that. Mephiston is still really bad compared to Librarian Dread. I still will be using a Dread over him because Rose and Wargear are just bad. I think here's the problem with Awoken Sheep is like, the Librarian Dread is a smash character, right? Like, you can go in and you can get like 10 attacks and you can do a ton of damage. I don't think Mephiston is necessarily the smash character that he once was, and he was definitely a smash character in previous editions, right? Like 100%. Last edition, I used Mephiston to kill Leviathan Dreadnoughts by himself and shit, because you could buff him to about. Well, he had one less attack, right? But like, you could charge and get Savage Echoes that put him on 7 attacks. You could quicken in to get another D3. You could Red Rampage to get another D3. So you could have like 13 attacks in Mephiston. And they would obviously be hitting on 2s and then usually wounding on 2s because of his strength 10. So against the Leviathan Dreadnought, 13 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. And then for 2 CP or 3 CP, I can't remember how much Honor of the Chapter cost. I think it might have been 3. You could attack again, right? So you could get 26 attacks with Mephiston. And I think what's happened is people think of Mephiston now as like, oh, he's this amazing smash character. But he's not anymore, because like, you don't have Red Rampage, so you can't get those additional D3. So the most I think you can get is 10 attacks, and you can't fight twice. So you got 10 attacks now, down from 26. So yeah, I think when he was having 26 attacks, he could jump into just about anything and kill it, and you didn't have to worry too much, like, because his target was always going to die against 26 strength 10 minus 4, 3 damage attacks or something. And now 10 attacks is just not enough to kill big nasty things, I guess. So my opinion of Mephiston is like, if you want to use him and you want to have him successful, and I think you can make him successful, I just don't think you can use him as a smash character. Or you have to think of it like this, right? You have to use his psychic strength, like Unleash Rage and Blood Boil and that, for 2 or 3 turns till the battle's kind of like, you know, strung out a bit, like the enemy aren't still on full strength on anything, and then at that point, yeah, you can jump in and in quickening and do a bunch of damage or whatnot. But like, I don't think Mephiston just isn't the smash character he was previously. I guess that's how you've got to look at it. So the Librarian Dreadnought is a smash character, I would say, and he can still smash because he's got obviously the one weapon that can do 6 damage, and he's got his other weapon that does flat 3. He's got 10 attacks, so like on average, like he can. I think you can give him like a Warlord trait or something, and you can get him up to like 11 or 12 attacks maybe, and you can buff his weapon skill against characters. So like, I think Librarian Dreadnought can be a great smash character. I just don't think Mephiston's a smash character anymore. But I think the problem is a lot of people remember him as a smash character and are just like, yeah, Mephiston is the great, you know, kills Leviathan solo, no problem. Well, he did. He fucking doesn't now, I'll tell you that. And that was when Leviathans were 350 points, you could kill them solo. So that's how much of a nerf he got from 8th edition into 9th, I guess. My dad taught me to spray paint properly, never had issues with coats being too thick. I just wish I knew why the one coat cracked, sunk a lot of time into that kit. What were you painting and what cracked, Napalm? Astaroth is one of our best named characters. 4 damage axes, devastating, plus full rerolls and melee for core and characters, and can give +1 to hit to a unit. Solid. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Astaroth is a really good character, but I think people struggle to run him effectively, and I think that's what we've seen is In the tournament scene, people have struggled to run him effectively. And also, he, if he ever gets left exposed, he dies like super easily. Did you see Valorak's Chaos leaks earlier and how Night Lords are becoming better than Blood Angels? I didn't see any streams earlier tonight. I was watching the Arsenal game. Probably should have watched the streams because the Arsenal game was shocking. But yeah, I mean, I guess we know Blood Angels got their codex super early in 9th, and we know that we're just waiting for another edition to get like a better codex. Our stratagems aren't super strong. Our faction-specific units aren't super strong. So, but I mean, I don't think we're bad. I just don't think we're super strong. So, I guess take from that what you will. Like, I could have definitely won that GT that I played in with the Blood Angels. So, and that was against broken orc lists and overpowered admech or undercosted admech lists before they increased all the costs of admech stuff by like 20%. And I did play admech in that tournament. The guy I played in admech actually came 6th. So his admech list was pretty solid. So, yeah, I think you with Blood Angels we just have to tough it out for a bit more. Who knows what's going to happen with the rest of the points costs, I guess, right? Every single unit we have could go down 10 points. You never know. 5th edition Mephiston was the golden age. Yeah, I mean, he was definitely better back in the olden age, right? Back when he could basically stop enemies from attacking you, period, or something. Astrath's biggest problem is he casts litanies on 3s. Yeah, I mean, he should probably have the Wise Orator trait. That would probably be... That was one of the things I said in one of my recent videos, is like, would it be better if our unique characters had like they almost need to rethink some of the unique characters' warlord traits. They're kind of, well, like the Sanguiner's warlord trait is a pile of shit. Death Company dropped just enough points to keep the chaplain on the bike in the list. Yeah, it's kind of funny if you're running a 5-man Death Company and you're running the chaplain on the bike. I guess nothing changes. You spend 10 more points on the bike captain, and you spend 10 less points on the Death Company. So, I think a lot of people are running 5-man Death Companies. Like, if you look at the tournament lists, a lot of people like a little 5-man Death Company with a few Thunderhammers. So, if you were doing that and you're running a chaplain on a bike, then I guess nothing changes, right? Astrath is the chief he's the chapter's head chaplain, so you should 100% have Wise Orator. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they added those new chapter master upgrades. That would be kind of cool, actually. You may give me a good idea, not so average Joe. What would be nice would be like when you go to pick your named character, right? Any named character, so like Dante or Mephiston or whoever, rather than take the warlord trait that's in the Blood Angels book, the one that they have to take, for example, what you just said, Soul Warden, what if there was an option, so you could still take the one in the Blood Angels book if you wanted, but if they had like the right keyword, like if they had like the Chief Librarian keyword like Mephiston does, rather than take his trait, like Speed of the Primarch, he was allowed to take the one from the chapter book. So Mephiston could take like Psychic Mastery, and Carbolo could take like Selfless Healer, and Astrath could take Wise Orator, right? Like, how cool would that be? Where they would, because these are things that they probably would be able to do anyway, right? Because like you said, Astrath is the chief apothecary, so why would he not be able to be the Selfless Healer, and so on and so forth with other characters, right? That would be an interesting way to see if you could make those other characters a bit more competitive again. Astrath should just cast on 2s, but Astrath's warlord trait is an aura of 5+ feel no pain to all within 6, which is solid. Yeah, but I mean, there's other ways you can get the 6-up feel no pain to mortals. And it's only mortals that Awoken Sheep It only protects against mortal wounds, right? It doesn't protect against all wounds. Are those Space Marine Combat Patrol kits good starter kits? Still fuzzy on what I need to start playing. I wouldn't say that Blood Angels Combat Patrol is particularly useful for a Blood Angels player. People have said that the Dark Angels Combat Patrol seems to be the most useful to start with for a Blood Angels player. It's kind of tough. I guess it depends on what you're into. But if it was me, I would buy the Dark Angels Combat Patrol over the Blood Angels one, and then just sell the Dark Angels sprue on eBay, or try and trade it for some Blood Angels transfers or something like that. You know, if you find a Dark Angels player that wants an upgrade sprue, I think someone on our Discord this week traded like a Dark Angels upgrade sprue for like 13 sheets of Blood Angels transfers. I was like, holy crap, that's really like that's a great trade to make for the combat sprue, I guess, because. But yeah, to start playing, you probably just need 500 points. If you bought a Combat Patrol, you probably do get like 500 points. But like I said, I don't think too many of the units in the Blood Angels Combat Patrol box are that competitive. In the Dark Angels box, you get Inceptors, which are great. They're very competitive. You get Redemptors, which we talked about. They're not the most competitive, but you can make them very competitive. And I tend to run Redemptors on a lot of my lists. I usually always end up running one or something. You should check if there's any Christmas boxes on eBay. It had a lot of minis in it. Yeah, I mean, if I was starting Blood Angels, I would get a box of Infiltrators. Because I think Infiltrators... That's what I'm painting right now, and I actually already have... I was going to say, how many of these guys do I already have? I've got 10 painted as Infiltrators, and then I got 5 painted as Incursors, and I'm doing another 10 Incursors. The Phobos troops are kind of, for me, the best troop choice. So I do recommend, if people aren't sure where to start, like I feel like you can't go wrong with Phobos troops. Even more so, I think you can't go wrong with Incursors. So that's probably where I would start with Incursors. But then after that, you know, the Dark Angels Combat Patrol is very good for the Inceptors and the Redemptor, both pretty competitive units. And then usually after that, I recommend people go for Sanguinary Guard, because I always say Sanguinary Guard are our most damaging unit. Sanguinary Guard can be difficult to play right, but they can do so much damage. And you usually need to buy like 2 boxes of Sanguinary Guard, because you only get 5 in a box, and 5 isn't going to cut it. Beak only army for the win. Yeah, I did all my Incursors with beaks. I have to give a shout out to some people in the Discord. Actually, helped me out get the beaks that I needed for my Incursors. I don't really like the Incursor helmets, and I saw on Discord, I think somebody used the Infiltrator helmets and like snapped off all the aerials or cut off all the aerials. I thought that looked pretty cool as well, but I had some beak heads left from like older editions, and then I asked on Discord, and some people helped me out. So all my Incursors are going to use beak heads. I've actually put some Primaris heads on the on the Sanguinary Guard, and I think that looks okay as well. I was going to see if I had any in front of me, but no, I don't have any right now. But I've done it before. I've put Sanguinary Guard. I've put Primaris like in Intercessor heads on Sanguinary Guard, and I think that looks quite good as well. But yeah, you won't have long to wait. 2 more days and we'll find out I guess what the next 6 months looks like. So I'm not sure if they're going to sell a new book every 6 months though. Like they're doing 6-month long seasons. Does that mean we get a new chapter approved every 6 months, or does it mean that we get like a new mission? I really don't know. I guess. What do you guys in chat think? Like, what do you expect to get in seasons? Like, there's going to be these balance sheets every 3 months, right? Which I guess from time to time will also include points upgrades or points changes if they think something is too strong. Would you rank assassins for synergy with Blood Angel's army? I'm thinking using an Evisor, but also like the Vindicator. The Vindicator is the sniper, right? And the Evisor is the one that gets a shitload of attacks. I mean, the cool thing about the assassin is if you include one in your army, at the start of the battle, you can pay 2 CP and swap out for one of the other assassins, right? That's like that's their cool thing. I mean, I ran an assassin in my list this week, and I assassinated one of the enemy's chief. Well, I assassinated the Ultramarines chief librarian, I guess. So, I do think assassins have synergy. The sniper assassin, I think, is quite swingy. Like you're either gonna hit an enemy character and kill it, or you're gonna do nothing. And the Evisor assassin can get a lot of attacks, and he's kind of nice, and he can charge reliably and stuff. But he's really just gonna blend infantry, right? And I think Blood Angels have a bunch of stuff that can blend infantry. Like if you've got a bunch of bolters in your army list from like Sanguinary Guard, they will blend infantry. If you've got a bunch of chainswords for Death Company, they will blend infantry. So I guess if you feel like you need to blend a ton of infantry, then I guess the Evisor's fine. Did we do a podcast episode on this assassin? Hold on a second. I feel like we definitely did assassins. Was it on the podcast channel? Yeah, I'm sure it was actually. Cool. Yeah, let me send you this link in the chat. Justice 35. I just sent a YouTube video link. It's not come up yet. There you go. That was our podcast episode where we talked about assassins. So it's like an hour long. We cover every assassin. We say why we like them and why we don't like them. Our podcast goes out every 2 weeks. So if you'd like to subscribe over there, you totally can. Good evening, Hydra. How you doing? The 3d6 charge, a tiny footprint and a billion attacks. He's great for nicking opponents' backfield objectives. They haven't held enough back to hold it. Yeah, and I mean, the Evisor can like attack twice, and he can get bonus attacks if he kills models and all sorts of nonsense. So like, the Evisor will grind enemy infantry, weak infantry. I mean, I guess there's a place for him in a list, sure. I guess the question is how many other characters have you got? Because personally, I don't like taking more than 3 characters in lists, because I think if you take more than 3, you just make it very easy for your opponent to pick Assassinate against you. And I don't like making anything for my opponent easy. You know, if they're already going into the game struggling with their secondaries, to me, that's like there's value in that, because they're like, oh god, I don't know what I'm going to pick. This is going to be a difficult game. I'm already starting to worry about my secondaries before the game started. So yeah, that's why one of the reasons that I just generally try and stick to 3 characters, right? Because then, like, Assassinate is just 10 points, which is fine. I mean, it can be okay to take a secondary if you can guarantee that you're going to get 10 points from it. I mean, back in the day, I used to take Scramblers a lot, and Scramblers always used to just give 10 points. But yeah, there can also be something to be said about, like, in some games, 10 points is not going to cut it, and if the opponent's worried and stuff, then I think it's fine to take it. The kit I was painting was the Macros VFF1D. No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. You can pause the stream anytime you want. I've been painting these in cursors for so long, and when you're going up against the new custodes, and what would you plan? I don't know. I mean, I could probably fight the new custodes on Monday night because Andrew's got them, and from what I heard, Andrew absolutely wrecked Colin. He beat his Ultramarines in under an hour with the Custodes Codex, and then he beat the Death Guard as well, like fairly quickly. So as people are saying, the Custodes Codex is like strong but balanced, or just balanced, or maybe not even strong enough. Andrew was saying it's insane how easy he beat Colin. One of the things that I love in my list for the last 6 months was like Null Zone. And Null Zone is actually genuinely really good against Custodes because it just removes their invulnerable saves, and if they don't have their invulnerable saves, you can kind of rip through their models pretty quickly. Oh, thank you, Justice35. That's very generous. You don't have to do that. I appreciate the $5. But yeah, I think, you know, so like I was running my Librarian with Null Zone, and Custodes, they don't typically have Psychers. Like, I think they have a stratagem that lets them deny, but like it's kind of different. I think it's like maybe on like a 4-up they can deny or something. But yeah, I think Null Zone is like, it's a great tool. It wrecks Custodes, absolutely wrecks them. But like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if running a single Librarian is the right call right now. I don't know if running multiple Librarians is the right call either. I just built a 5th Death Company Marine on Tuesday. Pretty happy with that now, says James. Yeah, I bet. A 5th Thunderhammer Death Company Marine nonetheless. I wonder if Thunderhammers are going to stay at 15 points. I guess we will find out. I did think Death Company were very expensive for like Thunderhammer guys. You know, like 40 points per model is crazy. Thank you so much for the subscription, Napalm, sorry. It's getting late. I am getting tired. I'm going to be on for like 20 more minutes, guys. And then I'll be back. I've got a new video coming out tomorrow where we're going to talk more about the new chapter approved book in that video tomorrow. And then I'll be back on Saturday night, as always, to do some live streaming on painting and just hanging out on... Do you know what? If we get any of the leak point costs on Saturday, we can definitely talk about them on Saturday night. We'll also have the Army List show on Sunday, as always. This time it'll be on Sunday night as well. And I don't know, if you guys want me to arrange a battle to fight Custodes on Monday, I can do it. I mean, I probably should do it just so I get a handle on like how strong they are right now. But yeah, I'm a little bit nervous of the Custodes. I guess like, as long as the terrain is enough, then I'll probably be okay. I'll ask Andrew if he wants to play Custodes on Monday night. I don't think I've got any other game that's more important to play. I mean, and then in that way you can see the new codex and see how we handle it, I guess. I don't have the greatest record against Andrew's Custodes. I think I've played them like 3 or 4 times, and I think I've probably got like a 50% win rate against them. Null Zone helps a lot, and I'm probably not going to run Null Zone. I'm probably going to continue to run my Calidus Assassin. Sorry, not Calidus, Calixtus Assassin. Just because I want to see her in a broad range of games and see if like I feel like she's viable. So it's good to run her in games where it's like, this isn't a great game for her because like the enemy has no Psychers. And one of the things she does well is deal with Psychers, right? Or I guess that's the only thing she does well is really kill Psychers. So I want to run her in games where she's not amazing and see how we get on. Dale, I'm looking to get back into 40k with Blood Angels. What does a competitive list look like? Yeah, DTM hit the nail on the head. Dale, I actually have a playlist on this channel, and I can show you real quick. Let me show you. If you go to YouTube, just go to the Blood Angels Commander channel. This is what looked like something like this, and just scroll down a little bit. So, yeah, just literally just type Blood Angels Commander and click like BA Commander, and like click on the channel, not the videos. So click on the channel and go down to this playlist here, competitive army lists. This is basically all the lists that have done really well this edition. So like this one won a GT. This was my list where I did 4-1 in a tournament. This was the 7-1 list from the US Open. This was 8th out of 58 GT. This was another tournament winning list. I thought I had another list. Where's my other one? Did I not put it in this playlist? Apparently I didn't put my... Apparently I didn't put the one, my tournament where I went, because I did Clan Wars. So yeah, okay, I'm missing a video. I will add it to this playlist after this stream. But yeah, like that will tell you what was good in the last sort of few months. But yeah, Chapter Approved is coming out literally for pre-order on Saturday, and that will change a bunch of the top units in the meta and stuff with all the points costs. So maybe once Chapter Approved comes out, I could do a video like just like on my next list. I've done that before. I haven't done one for a little while. So and like why I think each thing is strong. So maybe that's an option for in the next few weeks. We could get a video out on some things that I think are decent and strong, Dale. But you're like a week too early. So you don't ever plan on using the Assassin CP swap thing ever, says Ben. I mean, I might, Ben, but I guess what I plan on doing first is learning. Like, I like to learn the strengths and weaknesses of a unit pretty extensively, I guess. Like, I want to see it in combat like 10 times against different things. And I know you can like sim all that, and I do sometimes sim stuff like that with like with a spreadsheet and stuff. But like I like to know like averages and stuff. So like if I charge this unit with this unit, like in the heat of battle, am I gonna win this combat? Am I gonna lose this combat? You know, how many wounds I'm gonna average? Like, so I like to play units multiple times as opposed to, oh, I don't think the Assassin's strong right now or in this matchup, so I'm just gonna switch it out. Because yeah, I don't know, like in tournament play, sometimes you can make mistakes, you know, like, so you'll be coming up against a Grey Knight player and the game starts and you think, oh shit, I was going to switch out my assassin and I haven't done it. So like, I like to know exactly the strength of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is handy. You can switch out the assassins, and I do own an Eviscer assassin. And I do own a Vindicator assassin. I actually don't own the Calidus, which seems strange because that's like the melee-ish one. But yeah, so I mean, I could swap it out, but I'm gonna. My plan is to play it a bunch of times before I can. Plan is to just blindly play it a bunch of times so that I know what the assassin does, and also like so I know when it's good to use the stratagems and stuff. So. Yeah, you're 100% right. At a tournament, you might want to switch your assassin out, but at the moment, like I just think the Calixtus assassin is very useful right now because where the meta is. So I just want to learn and get good with it first before I consider swapping it out. And the Vindicator is too swingy. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with the Vindicator. You could go in a game and every single turn you could end up assassinating an enemy player, or you could go in a game and you could shoot him every single turn and do no damage. So I don't like swingy units particularly. It's the same as like the Vindicator assassin is the same as the Vindicator tank. in the Vindicator tank on paper, you're like, wow, Demolisher Cannon, 10, strength 10, 6 shots potentially, and then like 6 damage. You're like, whoa, this thing will do great. And then like you play in a game and you kill one Poxwalker. You're like, wow, that was a fucking waste of time. So yeah, I think I like to stay away from things that have giant swings like that. I just think they're not great for competitive play. You also did a few on how good each unit is for the force organization slot. Yeah, we did tier list videos. They were really fun to do actually, Sean. My main issue is points isn't only when units need to be fixed. I think a lot of Marine rules need to be changed. They just lack something, so why not? I did a video on that last week, why not, saying very much similar things to that. In that, like, I think that points costs aren't maybe the main problem with some of the units in the codex. And some people click the dislike button on the video. I mean, if you watch my videos, you're more than welcome to click the dislike button. But that was like one of my most disliked videos because I said like they should move it to like a digital format and they should update the data sheets more frequently with, to make them more competitive. And I think what people didn't like is I think people like the books. I mean, I could be wrong here, but I think people like having a codex and they like reading through it and they like the tangible feel of the book. And don't get me wrong, like I like all that. I just don't like the fact that then, like, could they do that, but make the code inside the book, the code that lets you get it on the app, could the code be like a code that lets you like get the updated data sheets, and like if the app was just better and they updated the data sheets more frequently as opposed to just the because I guess like the codex cycle, for example, isn't great, right? Like 9th edition came out like a year and a half ago, right? And like some people over a year and a half ago, I think it was July. So like so just basically almost bang on a year and a half ago. Some people are still using their 8th edition codex, right? Like should they just get to a point where like I don't know how they would do it. They would almost have to have like the competitive rules are not part of the codex. So you buy the codex for all the lore and all the like open play rules and the crusade rules, and then the competitive rules, that's where the code in the codex lets you have like a subscription to the competitive rules for X amount of time, and they're just better at updating them. But like I guess some people really like having the book. I think it would be better as digital because they could iterate on it quicker. But yeah, I mean, I guess some people click the dislike button on the video. So, like I said, you're entitled to your opinion, I guess. And that's what it is, I guess. -2 points on Death Company is not nearly enough. Even more so when you consider they are elite units. So it's not like we're running 30 of them at -2 will add up. I mean, why not run 30? It's only 690 points. Is that what it would be 23 points per model now. I mean, if you ran 30 Death Company Marines with chainswords, that still sounds pretty scary actually, doesn't it? And you just deploy all 30 of them on the front lines. So like they don't know which of the 3 squads are getting Forlorn Furied. We think it's being applied to all Marines. The website said it's getting applied to Death Company squads, but I mean we don't really know. We'll probably know on Saturday, H-word, when the leaks or when the preview copies of Chapter Approved become available on Saturday. We'll really know then, I guess. I actually bought and built a Vindicator just for the swinginess. It has a charm, it sure does. See, I have a Vindicator with the Siege Shield, so it says Toughness 8, 2-up save. And yeah, I mean, it's like the enemy don't know whether to try and deal with it or not, because sometimes you just shoot it every turn and it does nothing, but then sometimes it can do 36 damage in a turn, which is just insane. So, Yeah, I prefer the laser destroyers for sure. The Vindicator laser destroyers. I think they're a much better / safer pick if you really want to field something like a Vindicator. But yeah, I mean, I guess you can field if you have a regular Vindicator. I guess you can field it and give the opponent the option, like, "Hey, I'm going to shoot you with this D6 cannon that can do D6 damage. Ignore me at your peril," I guess. I have seen huge Death Company chainsword rolls just ping off whatever they're fighting against. I feel like they need Thunderhammers to actually be scary, and that's not cheap. Yeah, I mean, 60 chainswords at -1 or -2 could probably still do quite a lot of damage against just about anything, right? Because even toughness 8, you would be wounding on 5, so. Yeah, I mean, unless they've got a crazy good invulnerable save, I feel like I think 10 Death Company just with chain swords and jump packs would actually, I don't think they'd be bad. Mr. Lonely 24/7 says, I'm new to 40k. Is there a book or something that has the new points update in it that I can make my list? Yes, Mr. Lonely is releasing on Saturday. So don't buy it before then because you'll be buying the old version. It's out of date. The book you're looking for is going to be called Chapter Approved 2022. I can show you the cover 1 second. Which country are you in, Mr. Lonely? I was going to say I thought I could show you it, but apparently the internet here has been really funky tonight, and nothing is loading. Do I have a picture of it? I used it in one of my thumbnails this week, but oh, if it's in my thumbnails, I'll have it. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. But because it's in my thumbnail, I put my picture over the middle of it. But look, it's going to be called Chapter Approved. It's going to be 2022. I think down there it says Field Manual 2022. And it's going on sale on Saturday. That is the book you'll need to buy. Alternatively, if you don't want to buy the book, you can download a free program called Battle Scribe that has all the points cost and is kept relatively up to date. But yeah, Death Company should get a free jump pack and Magna Grapple. Yeah, that would be nice. I play the Vindicator. Sometimes it takes a lot of enemy fire, says Daniel. Yeah, I mean, it can definitely take fire. All right, you're in USA. Yeah, so I guess Games Workshop. Oh, look, I think it's loaded now. Hold on. I think it's loaded. I'm pretty much done painting for the night. I'm gonna call it there because I have work in the morning. But let me see if this loads. Come on, load. Yeah, something is funky with the internet tonight. Look how long that's taking to load. Just a website. Our assault, what you saying? Our assault intercessors viable for flesh tearers. I mean, I use assault intercessors, my Blood Angels list, usually just one squad. But I mean, I think assault intercessors in general are fine. Ten Death Company with Chainswords and Assault Doctrine, one shot a Redemptor Dreadnought, or a 3-man Scrawn Death Shroud unit, so they're definitely punch hard. Add Chapter Master for extra pop. Yeah, okay, so yeah, like it does work. 10 Death Company can do damage. God, their website is slow tonight, honestly. Look at this. How slow do you go? But I mean, The thing that I like, Nick, and the thing that I've been painting all evening is incursors. I think incursors are good for Blood Angels. I think they're also very good for Flesh Tearers. They forward deploy. You can make turn 1 charges. Yeah, look, so here's your book. Chapter approved. This is what you're going to be looking for. This goes on sale on Saturday. So wait until Saturday if you're wanting to get started with Blood Angels. But anyway, I'm going to go. I got a new video coming out tomorrow. We're going to talk about chapter approved in that video. It's coming out about 1 p.m. UK time, so about 12 hours from now. I'll be back on Saturday night streaming, just painting, probably chilling. Maybe we'll have a whiskey or something. We'll be back on Sunday night for the army list show, where we look at community submitted army lists, score them out of 50, depending on how good they are. I guess that's going to be tricky because everything's changing. But do you know what? If we have the new points costs, I'll try and make suggestions based on the new point stuff. And then on Monday night, we'll have a live battle game. I don't know who we're playing yet, but maybe it'll be Custodes. We'll see. So I'm going to be live. I'm going to have a video or something live every day for the next 4 days. Hope to catch some of you guys in some of those videos. Hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. Hope you're excited about chapter approved and that we may actually get some more points reductions costs. I think it's going to be, sounds like it might be positive. So let's go into it with a positive one. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Hopefully I'll catch you at some point. By the blood are we made strong. Peace.